The Darth Vader comic by Charles Soule is coming to an end in its 25th issue at the end of December. Yesterday saw the release of issue 24. Last time we saw Vader, his castle had been completed, but it fell under attack by Mustafarians. As he went to deal with them, the spirit of the ancient Sith Lord Momin used the shrine inside the castle to pierce the veil between life and death and resurrect his body. The 24th issue was pretty straightforward as we saw Vader deal with both threats. First, he faced the Mustafarian army, rallying his troops for battle. It was kind of interesting seeing him be a leader again. We're used to seeing him lead through fear of being force-choked or something, but it was cool seeing him actually inspire his stormtroopers and fighting on the front lines. Of course, all of his troops wound up dying, but that's because the Mustafarians seemingly have some control over the Force and what they call the blood of Mustafar. Lava. They mean lava. They straight up flood the area surrounding Vader's castle, and Vader barely survives in a nice parallel to Revenge of the Sith, except this time he's more machine than man, and lava isn't quite as debilitating. He strolls into the shrine and uses the power of his castle to turn the lava against the Mustafarians. In issue 23, I speculated that we would get to see an alternate version of a battle we were shown in the Tales from Vader's Castle series. It doesn't seem like this is the case because it wouldn't appear that any Mustafarians got inside the castle walls. So I guess the people of Mustafar just keep on trying and failing to take down the fortress over the years. Or maybe we simply didn't get to see every part of the battle in the Darth Vader comic, or maybe Vinay was altering the story he told to freak out the trespassers. Anyway, with the Battle of Fortress Vader over, Momin reveals himself. It's pretty awesome getting to see a fight between two different eras of Sith. Not only physically, but philosophically as well. Momin sees the dark side very differently from Vader and Sidious. While they seek to control the dark side, he sees himself as a servant to its will. He believes service to it will grant eternal life, and it's kinda hard to argue with the guy who literally just resurrected himself. Momin claims Palpatine is either ignorant of the truth or hoarding knowledge, and I choose to believe the latter. There's been a lot of talk about how most of the Jedi Order of the Clone Wars had lost their way. They shouldn't have become generals in a war, they were more concerned with rules and technicalities than they were with spirituality. The original founders of the Jedi probably would not have approved with the way they operated. And I love that we're seeing the exact same thing going on with the Sith. An ancient Sith sees what the Rule of Two has turned them into, and he is disgusted by it. He hates seeing the Sith become so obsessed with the Jedi, and I kinda think he's onto something. The Rule of Two was partially created so that the Sith could slowly amass power and take revenge on the Jedi. That's a very petty goal as opposed to Momin's philosophy of serving and glorifying the dark side. I don't know if this is hinting towards what we'll see in future content with the ancient Sith. Soule left a very easy out by saying that Momin's philosophies were deemed heretical by other Sith Lords, so we might just be seeing one man's opinion. But regardless, I think it's endlessly interesting getting to see the old butt heads with the new. By the way, Momin knows all about Vader and Sidious because when Vader accessed the helmet to see its past, Momin was able to do the same. Palpatine also stated that he accessed the helmet, so I assume Momin saw into Sidious's mind as well. That's very similar to what Rey and Kylo experience in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. But anyway, Vader of course overpowers and kills Momin. I think it's a nice touch that his resurrected body had black blood. That could be due to his species, but I think it's more showing how unnatural his life was. I was iffy on the whole resurrection thing because it starts to get into some weird territory when we've been told over and over again that only light side users can keep their consciousness after death, but I think Soule handled it with enough wiggle room and ambiguity that it works out. With Momin and the Mustafarians out of the way, Vader is left completely alone in the castle. He begins to pierce the veil himself, and that's how the issue ends. I'm glad we'll seemingly get an entire issue to explore whatever is through that portal. I can't wait to see what Vader finds. This probably isn't the world between worlds, but I'm still feeling that excitement of discovering something new about the Force, and I love that stuff. But we'll have to wait almost a month to see what happens in the final issue. Until then, let me know what you thought of issue 24. What do you think Vader will find on the other side of the doorway? Let me know in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.